Order. End of question time. The clerk will now proceed to read the order of the day.
Item 1, resumption of debate on the budget statement.
Question is that Parliament approves the financial policy of the government for the financial year 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023. Sharael Taha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The past 2 years had us tackling the immediate challenge of protecting lives and livelihoods during the pandemic while building on the foundations of an economically vibrant, socially cohesive, and sustainable Singapore for us to call home. In many countries, the pandemic had exposed cracks and divisions within society. There are those against being masked, as well as anti-vaxxers voicing out against measures amidst the pandemic. What made us different? The difference was our coming together as a united society, helping each other in these exceptional times. We understood we had a responsibility and a part to play for the greater good of public health. Volunteers reached out, especially to seniors staying alone, encouraging vaccination and ensuring the seniors do not feel isolated amidst the pandemic. Grassroots organizations distributed care packs, masks, assisted in COVID support grants, and organized career fairs for those that lost their jobs. Private organizations such as Gifari Network helped to obtain and distribute care packs, including for the migrant workers. Industries supported each other, such as aerospace workers supporting vaccination centers, and companies took in mid-career workers switching from challenge industries through the SG United Mid-Careers Pathways program. There are many more instances where things could have been much worse, but by coming together and helping one another, we have emerged from this pandemic stronger. However, there remains many challenges ahead. The situation in East Europe reminds us peace is fragile. The global economy is more competitive and digitalized. Climate change continues to threaten the world. We're one of the fastest aging populations in the world, with 1 in 4 Singaporeans above the age of 65 by 2030. As we emerge from this pandemic, we must position Singapore for the challenges and the opportunities that lies ahead. We are at an inflection point in our history. It is for us to define how we want to grow as a society in the next phase. We must reaffirm our commitment for progress in an inclusive society, and we must continue to impart the right values to the next generation. Our aging population will increase the demand for healthcare and social care. How do we, as a society, care for our seniors? How do we support our less privileged families and our low-wage workers? How do we continue to improve the lives of all Singaporeans by growing our economy and staying relevant in an increasingly competitive global economy? How do we manage work-life harmony in a future work environment that blurs the line between work and home? How do we contribute to global efforts in tackling climate change? These are all pertinent questions we must answer. But our means to provide resources for this will come under great strain as the ratio of our working population supporting each aged dependent decreases. We can only get through this stronger if we remain united, helping and working together to ensure that the outcome is greater than the sum of all our efforts. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a balanced budget. We continue to provide support for workers, businesses, and households in tackling the immediate challenges due to the pandemic, while positioning ourselves to be future-ready by continuing our journey in transforming our businesses, developing new capability, and investing in our people. This budget also reaffirms our societal commitment towards inclusive growth, caring for our seniors, assisting our low-wage workers, and preparing for increasing healthcare and social care needs. Do we leave individuals to find their own way, or do we, as a society, collectively agree to provide stepping ladders for those in need? That being said, Mr. Speaker, sir, I do worry that this is our 3rd consecutive year running a budget deficit, and we will be digging into our reserves yet again. I have a few points for clarification. Firstly, on GST and how we can protect our residents by preventing profiteering from the GST increase. Secondly, in light of the challenges ahead, how do we remain relevant in the global economy and drive sector-specific industry transformation? And thirdly, how do we ensure inclusive growth for all? One of the concerns that has been echoed by residents is how do we prevent businesses profiteering from the GST increase at the expense of the consumers? A Pasir Ris resident, Mr. Wong, shared that he worries businesses will increase prices disproportionately at each GST hike in 2023 and 2024. The outcome will result in a disproportionate increase in cost that is borne only by the end consumer. How can we prevent businesses from passing costs straight to consumers instead of everyone shouldering a bit of the pain? Can I also seek clarification from the Minister on how the Committee Against Profiteering will be implemented? And how will it address concerns of businesses perceived to be profiteering from the GST increase? How can the Committee Against Profiteering identify the singular causes of price increase and hence identify businesses profiteering from GST in light of increasing cost of supplies, rental, labour, energy, in addition to the step increase in GST? How can we ensure the committee is effective in protecting our residents? Moving beyond GST, in light of our future challenges, how do we remain relevant in the global economy and drive sector-specific industry transformation? It was previously mentioned that the industry transformation map will be refreshed by this year to meet the accelerated changes brought about by the pandemic. What is the progress of the ITM refresh? And given that in this year's budget, a lot of additional resource is provided to bring about business transformation, how do we ensure companies develop capabilities in line with the refreshed ITMs to take full advantage of the opportunities available in the industry? How will the economic transformation efforts be integrated more closely with the National Research, Innovation and Enterprise 2025 plans? Will the ITM refresh consider workplace transformation and specifically address the upskilling, retraining and hiring of mature workers, workers with disabilities and other vulnerable workers for an inclusive transformation of the industries? How can we leverage on the 811 CTCs set up by NTUC and its affiliated unions to identify the training and skills workers need to keep up with the transformation? Will there be a clear direction on how to enhance sustainability efforts in our ITM refresh? For example, in the aerospace ITM refresh, what would be our direction on sustainability activities such as sustainable aviation fuels, electric hydrogen or hybrid propulsion? How will electric vehicles feature in our land transport industry transformation? As we position ourselves for the challenges and the opportunities ahead and transform our industry, I'm heartened that in this budget, we have provisioned significant resources to renew and strengthen our social compact. Our efforts to uplift low-wage workers has been ongoing for the past decade, and I believe we can continue to do more to support our low-wage workers. It is important to ensure that productivity continues to improve so that wage growth is sustainable. If real productivity is not achieved, there is a risk. Wage growth will drive up costs and makes us less competitive in the global market. Key to sustainable wage growth is upgrading worker skills to ensure our workers maintain a good job, earn a good wage, and have the opportunity to earn more. In this budget, we have apportioned significant resource, such as 200 million for building digital capability and increasing the capacity at polytechnics and IT centers to engage in technology. We will also invest in an additional 100 million to support NTUC to scale up CTCs and introduce new grants to support transformation plans. How can we encourage and support SMEs to transform their businesses so that the lower wage workers can be deployed more productively with more scope for progression? How can we get business associations to support more SMEs? I'm heartened that PWM will be extended and wage increase for low-wage workers will be co-funded under the Progressive Wage Credit Scheme. This will be further boosted by the Enhanced Workfare Income Supplement Scheme. The qualifying monthly income cap for the scheme has been raised, age eligibility has been extended, and the payouts increase, especially for people with disabilities. While companies transform to drive real productivity growth, how do we encourage low-wage workers to continuously upskill and upgrade? Can we consider a yearly workfare income supplement bonus or tiered supplement scheme if the worker utilizes his skills future credit or attend training and courses yearly to upgrade himself or herself? Disadvantaged platform workers also need assistance to meet their housing and retirement needs, as well as getting an adequate amount of baseline coverage for work injuries. Will MOM be able to provide an update on discussions at the Advisory Committee on Platform Workers? Inclusive growth should create opportunities for seniors, workers with special needs, and those with caregiving responsibilities. With the increasing prevalence of flexible work arrangements, including work hours, how will MOM encourage employers to sustain these arrangements? Can we create second careers for our seniors who are still able and willing to work but do not want to work full-time? Can the ministry consider promoting flexible work arrangement, flexible work hours, and work sharing to create opportunities for these individuals? And even as we make adjustments to foreign worker policies to increase its effectiveness, we must progress on fair employment opportunities. How are we progressing at legislating TAFEP guidelines to ensure fair employment practices and treatment at the workplace? Beyond supporting our workers, we must also ensure that students from all backgrounds are given equal opportunity to excel in the skills-based economy. How is our education system preparing our students for employment in a skills-based economy? For students in our ITEs and polytechnics, can MOE consider apprenticeship schemes where students can work with experienced staff from industry partners, learning job-specific skills and gaining applied competency? Mr. Speaker, in Malay, please. Dalam masa hadapan, Singapura akan berdepan dengan populasi yang semakin menua, dengan 1 daripada 4 warga Singapura melebihi umur 65 tahun menjelang 2030. Kita juga percaya bahawa kita perlu terus membantu warga emas dan keluarga kurang bernasib baik dalam masyarakat kita. Ini bermakna bahawa keperluan penjagaan kesihatan dan sosial kita akan meningkat, manakala sumber-sumber untuk menampung peningkatan itu akan bertambah terhad. Saya berbesar hati kerana belanjawan ini menunjukkan yang kita terus committed kepada pertumbuhan ekonomi yang inklusif. Program-program Kickstart dan Uplift akan diperluaskan lagi untuk membantu lebih ramai pelajar yang kurang bernasib baik. Model gaji progresif akan dilanjutkan ke industri-industri lain dan kenaikan gaji untuk pekerja bergaji rendah akan dibiayai bersama di bawah skim kredit gaji progresif. Tambahan pendapatan daya kerja iaitu Workfare Income Supplement Scheme akan juga dipertingkatkan. Had pendapatan bulanan yang layak untuk skim ini telah dinaikkan, kelayakan umur telah dilanjutkan dan pembayarannya meningkat terutama untuk orang kurang berupaya. Program-program ini antara lebih banyak program lain bertujuan untuk memastikan Singapura yang adil dan inklusif. Belanjawan ini merupakan belanjawan yang seimbang yang menyediakan bantuan kepada para pekerja, perniagaan dan keluarga untuk mengatasi cabaran-cabaran ekoran pandemik ini. Dan pada masa yang sama juga, ia mempersiapkan diri kita untuk menghadapi masalah depan yang lebih mencabar dengan mengubah perniagaan-perniagaan kita, membina keupayaan baru dan melabur untuk mempertingkatkan rakyat kita. Namun ada beberapa bidang yang boleh dipertingkatkan lagi. Yang pertama, bagaimana jawatan kuasa menentang keuntungan tidak adil boleh mengelakkan perniagaan mengaut keuntungan daripada kenaikan GST. Yang kedua, memandangkan cabaran di masa hadapan. Bagaimanakah kita kekal relevan dalam ekonomi global dan memacu transformasi industri khusus kepada sektor-sektor melalui perancangan perubahan industri. Ketiga, kita harus meneruskan perjalanan kita ke arah pertumbuhan inklusif dengan bantuan untuk pekerja platform, mengadakan peluang untuk pekerja warga emas yang masih mahu bekerja dan pekerja berkeperluan khas dan juga menangani diskriminasi di tempat bekerja melalui perundangan TAFEP. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, Sir, this is a balanced budget. It provides support to workers, businesses, and households in tackling the immediate challenges brought about by the pandemic, while positioning ourselves to be future-ready by continuing our journey towards transforming our businesses, developing new capabilities, and investing in our people. I'm heartened that we continue to invest in our people and strengthen our social compact. We have always committed ourselves towards inclusive growth, and we will continue to do so. Notwithstanding the clarifications above, I rise in support of the budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.